What is a Zillow Pre Foreclosure? Hi, I'm Becca Summers with Susan's Real Estate, and today we're talking about what is a Zillow Pre Foreclosure. So Zillow is a huge company, and their goal in life is to get your contact information and sell it to a realtor. The reason for this is that is how they actually make money. So a Zillow Pre Foreclosure is just another lead magnet that they use to get your contact information. When someone runs into a hard time and they have what's called a notice of default on their property, that is public record and anyone can find that information. So what Zillow does is they take that information and they put the house on Zillow, calling it a pre-foreclosure. The value that they come up with is typically what the loan amount was, because the loan amount is also public record. So if someone bought their house 10 years ago for $200,000 and it's worth $400,000 today, Zillow will show the $200,000 as the potential value. But the reality is, if the home goes all the way for a foreclosure, it's going to sell for market value because the bank is going to spend thousands of dollars to go through the foreclosure process. So they're going to make their money back by selling for market value. Now, you can get a good deal in a foreclosure if the house is in certain conditions, and we'll talk about foreclosures on another day, but this is not a true foreclosure, because what can happen once someone gets a notice of default is they can get caught up, they can choose to sell the house, or they can have the house foreclosed upon them. So they have a lot of options. If they choose to sell the house, they again are going to sell for market value, and most of the time it takes a bank quite a while to actually foreclose on it. So in the hot sellers market we're in right now, most people run into a hard situation, they just sell the house. I pulled up the actual foreclosure list the other day, and we only had 8 foreclosures in the whole state of Utah because most people have a ton of equity, so they just sell their house. So say someone does decide to lose their house, how long does it take for that Zillow pre-foreclosure to become a real foreclosure, and how do you potentially buy it? Well, the easiest way to potentially buy it is to go knock on their door and say, hey, have you thought about selling? However, that's pretty offensive to them because they're running into a hard situation and they might be very defensive to have people knock on their door and ask to buy their house. So if they go through the foreclosure process and you want to buy it from the bank, foreclosures can take anywhere from 6 months to 12 months to actually be processed. Then the house is put up for sale at the county courthouse, and most of the time a proxy bidder from the bank actually buys the house back so they can recoup some of their costs spent foreclosing on the property. Now, if you have cash and you have been investing for a long time, you can buy these houses off the county court steps. You just have to buy it unknown, and sometimes you buy it with people living in the house. So if you're looking for a house and you're looking for a good deal, there's plenty of ways to find a good deal, but the Zillow pre-foreclosure is not going to be a route you necessarily want to look into, because it really is just trying to get your information, to fill out the little form. They'll send it to a foreclosure specialist who's just a realtor paying them money for your contact information. They'll call you, they'll say, hey, yeah, that house is not available, but let me show you these other 5 houses we have available. So if you are looking for a good deal, I would be happy to show you how I find off-market deals, how I find good deals on the market, and how we can get you into a house.